Question: if y'all could change one thing about Unrivaled, what would it be?
Who's going first?
Ladies first. Ladies first.
Okay. So you're not gonna get me to like. I feel like I love a lot of things about Unrivaled. I love the court size. I love that it's full court. That was actually a pleasant surprise. I thought it was going to be how traditional 3-on-3 is, which is half court. I actually really like the full court. I love the quarters being 7 minutes and then the last quarter being to a target score because when I saw that, I'm like, that's so genius. Every game ends on like a buzzer beater. Yes, there's been some games where it's like, oh, it ends on a foul shot or whatever. But for the most part, like I remember back in week 1, like when Skylar Diggins-Smith hit that like game, like it's electric. It's electric. It's electric. So like to me, that's awesome. I think the struggle that I've had with Unrivaled is the injuries personally. So I think it's like, which again, I thought 6 was going to be even a lot for a roster size. But I don't know. Maybe it's like adding a 7 team, adding a 7 team, so that way one team has a bye, like has some sort of bye situation where they can be resting. Like I just feel like the injuries, like having like players like I think it was like Degenerates out at the same time as like Jackie out, AT out, like that. Those are big names. Like people are going to see those players. Like that's why you're committed to a certain club, whatever. So it was tough, and not to, like the people who are the reserves coming in, like not that they're not great. But I think it's just like the injuries, kind of had the excitement go down a little bit. So if you have another team, which is like, getting a whole nother roster of women to be a part of the league is a whole different thing. But I just think like, for me, the injuries have been a little bit of a hiccup throughout the season. I don't know what you guys think.
If I had to pick one, I would say a game shouldn't end on a free throw unless they attentional value, let's say 2 consecutive times, then I shoot free throws. But I feel like I'm damn, I want to see this game in on a buzzer beater. I don't want to see it on no free throws. Like, nah, that's weak. But I'm like,
but that's taken away from basketball though. You gotta,
but come on,
you gotta get in your stance because
that's what I'm
how
saying.
long would the games go on?
If you foul,
how long would the games go on though?
I say if you foul more than like 2 straight times, you gotta come on now shoot free throws now.
Okay,
now
like some sudden death type
thing.
Okay,
now if you playing honest defense, you just happen to foul, it happens. But like if you just happen to she blow past you grab her, it's like come on. It's like, come on, all right, you get one more. If we do it again, she's shooting free throws.
Okay.
That's the only thing I would take. And I like hers too about the adding a team, or at least adding maybe a couple players to these teams, because you come in with just 5. And like, for me, like, now you got to keep signing these players. Hopefully they free for the summer. And, so, and they canceled, it was
vinyl. They canceled.
The vinyl
I know.
Laces, I'm like.
Not enough players.
Yeah. And somehow the Lunar Owls have escaped the injury like the whole season, which has been crazy because they've only had 5.
With the most continuity, chemistry.
Too?
They look like they was ahead of everybody, ahead of the curve.
And their players, and like a lot of these teams, plays with free agents. So like, I might have to sit down this game because my team is trying to get a deal done. So I got to sit down. And they just we here all day. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't got no free agents. We good. So
if it's one thing I could change, and like, we kind of alluded to this earlier when we were talking about the one-on-one. So I feel like the final round and the one-on-one, like if you lose, you should not get another chance. Respectfully, we're all talking about how Fee won, but let's not forget Aaliyah Edwards won that first game.
Yeah, she did.
Like, having the 3 games as the
one-on-one matchup. If we playing in the park, if I win, that's it. You're not getting no rematch.
No, I agree.
Aaliyah Edwards did what she had to do and won. So I feel like it should be over from right then and there. So I just feel like
I agree.
Shouldn't be able to.
I agree.
Many attempts,
Yeah, it shouldn't be I don't think it should be a best of series for the finals because I think back to like basketball camp, like when you would have one-on-one tournament, whatever. It's one and done. Yeah, it's one and done. Like you don't get a second chance. Like it's like, oh, I lost. Like that's it.
Especially if we play for money too. Yeah.
That favored Fee, because I'm sure like once Fee knew she had another chance, she
figured out. Yeah,
I could get her. But to Aaliyah Edwards, that played to her detriment because it's like, she's playing against somebody like Fee, so of course she's gonna get tired and things like that. But that should.
And also Fee, and like when in the first like match with them together, it's like. Now Fee is learning like how she's playing, so now she can adjust and she's better
at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Right,
exactly.
And just like better in experience versus like somebody who's only been in the league for a year. It's like, and like you said, like stamina comes into play. Like there's a lot of things, and it's like now the advantage is Fee.
Yeah, exactly.
What about you, Rolly?
If I had to implement one thing, I wouldn't say change. Like let's trade.
You could trade.
Let's trade between. Yeah, like let's trade between.
I mean, they traded in the beginning. Not.
I mean, but like
Not during the season.
Yeah,
You see like the 1v1 break. Alright, like a little
trade deadline.
Like
trade
strike a
deadline,
deal,
little
or like
trade
strike a deal
deadline.
up or something.
Yeah, like a little
Yeah.
trade deadline,
Deadline.
like something like that. Just so, spicing things up.
I'm gonna feel away like you trade
keep
me.
people on
You
their
trade me
toes.
like
Listen,
that's crazy.
listen,
Like
somebody might
Also-
need this and somebody might need that. Swap pieces, spice things up.
And that could have played. That could have
Okay.
played nicely into their social strategy too, because like
Yeah.
the hints and like all that stuff, like it was really good engagement wise. So
Yeah.
imagine, post 1-on-1, it's like, oh, like there's actually gonna be a trade happening.
Breaking news,
And then-
like keep everybody on their toes.
Yeah, I work in social media, so I know all about like
Yeah.
garnering attention and capturing, engagement.
The
So
hints were huge. The hints were huge.
Yeah.
Like people were loving that.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the hell is the what is that? It said something about the machine. Like, who the fuck is the machine? I'm like, who the fuck is that? It was AT. I'm like, how the fuck I would know that? Like, I'm like,
Oh, some of the clues were crazy.
I'm like,
Some of the clues were
I'm like,
crazy.
who calls that? I'm like, yo, not that shit. I'm like, yo, I'll come back later. Y'all know the answer. I don't know who the fuck this is. I don't know who the fuck this is. I think I just knew maybe Snoop.
Like a little trade deadline, or something.
Nothing like that.
Trade the line. I mean, they are pushing towards the playoffs now.
Yeah, and it's a season at the end of the day. Why not?
All right, so we are.
So
Why
what do
not?
you wait? Question for you guys, because I want to talk about this. What do you think happens next year? Like, do they switch the teams up? Do they add
was
new
thinking
teams? Like,
that. I
what
was
happens
thinking
next
that.
year?
I think-
Like, do they stay the same? Do
Same
we?
coaches?
Is it now a new
I think
36
redraft.
top players?
I think they
Nah,
should
Like,
switch.
I
I
think
think they should switch it up,
Yeah,
just to give
redraft.
a different feel. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially like teams like Fandom and Misswell are kind of struggling right now. It's like
right.
chance to like diversify their players and like add different pieces with different pieces. I just feel like people it would be something unexpected, and that's what people like. So
and do the
Also,
redraft. I think. Okay.
Also, give players that didn't have the option to join last come around, to have the option, either to play somebody for the spot, something like
Yeah.
that, or like if you didn't
I do this.
satisfy a certain quota in some stat category, this person gets swapped in something.
I mean-
like just give somebody else, give somebody else a
You want to do
shot.
that? Because we got the. I mean, minus maybe 2 players. We got the most popular players minus Asia and
I still don't want to see
Caitlin.
the same teams in the
No,
same.
no. Yeah, a redraft teams.
Yeah,
Redraft. Yeah,
swap
cool.
it.
Yeah,
Mess it
redraft.
up,
I'll
like,
take that
you know,
redraft. Add,
put names
but
in a hat, pick
you
them
got
out.
to add maybe like 5 players now. Because let's say Caleb do join next year, so you have Asia join.
And then that's when you go to another team, like
you join like 3 more.
And you
Like
know,
Maddie
Paige is going to be like,
Paige gonna be there in the
Like-
league.
yeah.
it's gonna be
there's a lot of new players that are going to
Add
be in the
another
W
team.
that are
I
going to be
love
like
that.
Olivia Miles. Like
Miles
there's going to
gonna
be
be
some
Yeah,
good
yeah.
people like joining
Add
the W.
another
The W
team.
is only
Yeah.
growing.
Yeah.
So it's like I
Yeah.
think it's like, do you add? Which I think adding teams, like kind of like what we said, is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also do agree with the redraft situation, because I do think it's like Phantom BC and Mist are like tough right now. So it's like, and I get it, because it's like you want to create fandom and like have a club that you're for, but you can stay with the club and just be like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll see who like my lineup is this year. Like that's kind of fun. I don't know. I think
But next
like
year-
Keep a team captain.
It's gonna be tough,
and let
though.
them pick their team.
'Cause
Like the
next
best
year-
player on the team keeps their team, and then they pick from just a pool, something like that.
But
Yeah.
remember though, next year is the year everybody free agent. So like we got to get the CBA and all this shit done first before we can even like worry about. We got to be sure our money's sturdy here in the
Right.
league before we can even like focus on that right now. So like,
no, right.
so so everybody gonna be, well, not everybody, but damn near all the stars and gonna be free agent next year. So next year gonna be
Successful first year.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they have a lot of room for growth. That's
Yeah.
what I like about it the most.
yeah,
A lot
facts.
Yeah,
of
but I
room
think-
to
I
growth and
think-
tweak stuff.
Yeah, but I think Unrivaled, like you could just tell how much thought had gone
They had-
into it before, and like they made it the most entertaining that it could possibly be. Like
Yeah,
I was
didn't
so
expect
blown
that.
away with
Yeah, I didn't expect
the
that.
structure, having the one-on-one tournament, breaking it up. That was exciting. Like it's been there hasn't really been like a lull. It's been exciting, other than when they had canceled games and injuries and things like that. But you can't control that.
Yeah.
Everything that they could control, they've done. Like they've surpassed
Beyond. They broke-
expectations.
beyond.
Surpassed expectations. And there's investors. Like even when I
Yeah.
saw like the Sephora, like everything,
Yeah.
the Sephora glam room,
Brandon
Walk.
the
Yeah.
weight room, like I'm jealous. I'm
Yeah.
like, can I play
Yeah.
and be Unrivaled? Like, can I please be a part of this? And
Can I be
And
a
also-
ball boy?
no, there was like a posting about like practice players. I am not
Really?
good enough to be a practice player for them. But I was
Listen.
like, I want to go try out, just like make
Yeah,
content out of it. It would be amazing, and just live it for like a day, and they can just cut me and just be gone. Maybe next year I'll go to Miami and I'll just try it.
Stick around.
Truthfully, they need to be playing against men.
You might
So
get season tickets. Who knows? You might.
Guys.
You might.
Guys.
You might.
guys, I'm trying to go so bad.
Speaking into existence.
Yeah, that's
NFS.
you might, man. But
Listen, I have the Unrivaled VP production, like, saw my content, and he's like been reaching out to me through DMs, and I also like know a bunch of the current people who like work there, like Chloe. She does a lot for them. She's like head strategy of like social, and like you'll see her on TV like for the one-on-one tournaments. She was the one like escorting them over. And then Ryan Gordon, he like runs the YouTube channel. He actually worked at the company that I worked for a little bit. And I'm like, guys, can I please get to Unrivaled? This is me begging them. I'm like, please, can you get me to Unrivaled? And even like my company too, like they're like, yeah, we would be down to send you. Just need to get the access. So maybe I just need to follow up again and just like see what the vibe is.
Don't worry, it's gonna be here for a long time.
I
so
know,
you got plenty of time.
I really want to see it in person.
Yeah, like once you, and I wanted to go to a game, but it just didn't work out that way, man. But I'm gonna definitely get one next year though. Give me a game next year.
I've heard mixed things though about the like facility, because one, it's very like it's not super packed in, like it's not a ton of people that are actually like watching it.
Yeah,
it's small. But I think that's kind of a nice experience. Like that's kind of like a cool like exclusive experience that you're getting. Like I think that I don't know. I've heard mixed things about
I can
it.
see
Like,
them moving to a big
expansion.
I can see them moving to a
Always
big arena
room for
though.
expansion.
Maybe rent out. Maybe I don't know, but a big arena. Somebody, cause like. It's the first year, so like we don't know how it's gonna turn out as far as ticket wise. So let's get a little small arena, see how we pack it out. Okay, it's packed out, it's sold out. Let's move to maybe one of the college arenas or something like.
Or Miami Heat Center.
ooh.
I mean, but how would that work? Because the Heat is in season, so like it's gonna be hard.
Oh yeah,
because
true.
they in season, so it's gonna be
No,
hard.
I
They
think
could
I
probably
like
do it during
it.
All-Star break.
some type of
During
way. I mean, it's
All-Star
a great
break.
product. So
I mean, but but like remember they play on like exact days, Friday, Saturday,
yeah.
Saturday, Monday. So it's like
Yeah.
so
The
but
games will have to like circumvent. Yeah.
yeah, so
It's
like
possible though. It's doable.
because like we want to see, because I don't want them competing with men. Like no, this is their time. At this time, we just want to see them. We don't want to. So so
No, I like I honestly like the facility that they play in. I think it's like built very nicely. I know they have a ton of like activations outside too, just from like other content creators that I've seen that have been there that I'm friends with. Like I think they've done a great job with it. I think like it's engaging. Like you can go before the game and you can go do like there's like 3-point shooting or like different things that you can. There's activations and things probably sponsored by brands or just like from the league itself that they put out. And then you go in and then you have that really cool experience of like, yes, it's a smaller arena space. You all feel like you're a part of this like community, which I think is like the big thing in women's basketball. Like it's being a part of this community. You're like, you're in it. If you love it, you're in it. Like it's a community that's been like no other for me. So I'm like, honestly, I feel like keeping it like that, like it just feels like special. Like you're witnessing a history. So
Exclusive.
it's cool.